a ticket for going to a bus lane if you're like in like an ambulance pass.
Great start. Welcome to London, Eamon, again. Because the tide goes in and out by so much here, you end up having to don some wellies and go for a little bit of a wade.
So what's your favourite part about A10?
It's full of crews that do not normally race outside of their small bits of water, which we like to see.
You've got so many crews from clubs, universities, schools, so it's kind of like where everybody comes together for one event, which is quite nice.
But yeah, because of the tide, we're limited by how many crews you can have on it. Currently, there's a crew, one every 6 seconds, one every 7 seconds. We're uploading photos that we took 20 minutes ago. We're aiming for roughly like a 1 hour turnaround, which is not that bad for an event this fast.
Who won?
Cut to the shot of Rory White saying Leander by 8 seconds. Who do you think is going to win? I think Brooks will win it by 3 seconds.
I think Leander by 8.
Any fun questions that we can think of?
When was the first time you bought a camera, having owned a camera company?
That's a great question. 2020? So what's that, 5 years? I owned like a really small micro 4/3 mirrorless Panasonic for a bit. People always say that, of like, oh, I would start a photography company or a videography company, but you know, I don't have the gear or I don't have everything. But you don't necessarily have to have all the gear first up. Like, you know that as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a pretty big audience from filming everything on your phone to begin with. It's a little bit different shooting race photos because you need long lenses and all that type of stuff and decent computer equipment. That first 5 years at AllMarkOne, I just didn't have a camera. But you know,
10 different people through AllMarkOne, organizing them all, getting into certain races. How fun has that been?
it's definitely difficult. Like it's a lot of pressure on yourself. Like, you always see big business owners being like, oh, it's really stressful. I don't know, people always take that with a pinch of salt, being like, oh, it can't be that stressful, you're making tons of money, etc. Now, we're not a big business, but you also feel that little bit of the stress of paying yourself is significantly less than the stress of paying someone else's bills, like helping pay someone else's rent or paying someone else's bills, or the ability for someone else to be able to like go and buy food that week. That's significantly more stressful than pay for my own rent and my own food, because I don't know, like it's in my control, whereas it's a little bit more stressful when you're paying for someone else. So when you've got events that get cancelled that are out of your control, but you're also the one in control of paying their bills, it gets a little bit rough, because decisions of why they aren't getting paid are not in your control. And then it's just a game of trying to make sure that we cover as much as possible, even events that we haven't covered before, just to try and fill that gap, so that the business can continue to grow, or even like continue to run in some cases. We're quite lucky, like we're not a shop that has to keep the lights on and those type of things, so our ongoing costs are relatively low. Yeah, that Jag absolutely shifted it. When you've got an event underway, oh god, here we go, another call. Hello, what's up?
It's chucking it out.
Yeah, it's just started raining here. It said that it ends around like 1-2 o'clock though, so we should be fine for the race.
Okay, I haven't charged any of my batteries because my issue got just been there.
Okay, we'll handle it when you arrive. Try and charge them in the car. Just get like a USB charger onto something. Alright, see you later.
Oh,
God, you've arrived at the worst time.
Taking photos and videos. I forgot to charge my batteries.
As I was saying, staff are really difficult.
When you sold your first photo, what was that like?
Right, when did that happen? It was probably an absolute mess, to be honest. There was one thing that we did, which was, because we didn't have a photo sales website, we just had a normal website. We just made a private link, and if you PayPal'd us some money, you'd get the link to like the Dropbox of every single photo in it. And we just hopefully like played the game that someone wasn't gonna share the link around, which at the time, like, we weren't big enough for someone to be able to do that. But
yeah,
nowadays that definitely would be a problem. Then we started a photo shelter website, which is similar to the site we have now. It did all right. I think the issue is none of us really knew what we were doing, so some of the races get missed, or some of the photos didn't look that great. I think all of our photos were taken at maximum like 300 mil, so they looked all right. Like some of our photos now are still taken at that, but it's not the same as being able to have the ability to like purchase equipment, rent equipment that's 600 mil f4, which is like a £15,000 lens, or a 400 2.8, which is a £12,000 lens. Like that just puts you into the next bracket of quality, and it helps like future-proof all your images. And then the other key part of like making it look better is you kind of have to throw what is correct out the window. No one buys an image looking for a perfectly exposed image. Everyone wants something very slightly overexposed, and that's just something that you have to take into account. Like you can look at a histogram and be like, that is the best photo edit you can make on it, unless someone's willing to be like, that's a cool photo and purchase it. That's the business we're in. Just something that you have to like think about when it's a little bit different if you're shooting for yourself or your own social media or something. It's when the goal of the image is to sell it to an individual or a business, you have to put like a little bit of a spin on it. Yeah. Someone will be like, that's a really cool photo or a really cool video, but being able to turn that into a converted transaction is very different. Like a solid 60-70% of our images are pretty wide all crew photos that people just want to be able to keep hold of, and that might not necessarily be the coolest photo out of the bunch, but it ticks all the boxes that they're looking for. And if they've gone on our website to buy one image, that's most likely the one image that they're going to purchase.
So when you find yourself on the side of a lake and it's downpouring and you're just like, why the fuck am I doing this? What like keeps you going through it? There's definitely moments when I'm sitting on the side of a launch and like, this sucks, I'm cold.
Don't you love this?
Disgusting.
Yeah, we love rowing.
There is like tough bits like that. I think it splits into two sections, or maybe three sections. There's the love of the sport, which I think is really key. I don't think you do the building of the business without the love of the sport, because you don't get the income immediately. Like you've just got to grind out years and years of work before you start seeing the conversion come back to you, which is tough, but I think that's a good thing. It shows that you're putting like skin in the game, and I think that makes it worthwhile. The second bit is a really easy like business aspect. At the end of it, it's a business, it needs to make money, because otherwise it doesn't make sense for it to continue. So you sit out there in the rain either to beat your competition, and when your competition have packed up and gone home or decided that event's not worth going to, all of your potential customers are like, well, they were at this event and this event and this event, so if I want to support a business, I'm going to support the business that is always around, or that attends all the events, or photograph me during GB trials when they don't necessarily get any direct return. And then the third one is maybe limited to me, maybe like umpires and volunteers maybe get the same thing, but it's like guilt of what would happen if you weren't there. Like if we didn't go to all of these events, would someone really move in and take over, or would the entire market just kind of fall away? That might be a problem that we've kind of put among ourselves, but at Henley Royal, if we're able to capture launch images and boating images and racing images, finish line photos, finish line videos, and celebration photos, trophy, prize giving images, all of that, and we were then to leave, would there be enough of a group to continue that going at the same level, or would it drop back? And at that point, are we leading to the demise of content in the sport, even on like a really short term? But it's something that you keep in mind if you think that you can continue to help improve the team, or something you probably won't leave a job even if you've been offered a better one elsewhere. If the ability for you is to continue producing really cool content for rowing, and you've still got cool ideas, there's still a future potential ahead of you, you'd probably stick at it, because the last thing you want to do is ask what if,
Yeah.
like 4 years down the line. the entire sport kind of takes a bit of a step back in that region. If like a kit manufacturer or a blade manufacturer or a boat manufacturer just completely stepped away from rowing,
Concept 2's or manufacturing is...
If they stepped back, the entire sport would have a pretty tough time for a while until someone was able to not only produce the same number of items that they produce every year, but also have the same amount of investment in research and development and
support network,
marketing
and races.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the number of staff that are well versed in what they're doing is really key. I'm sure that would happen anyway. Like if I decided to step away, I'm sure some of our 12 staff would decide they want to keep doing it. So maybe that's a key reason. It'd be fear of missing out. Head of the river today. Vet's Head on Sunday. So busy few days. All right, I'll give you a shout on your way past. Cheers. See you later, mate.
You know so many people.
Am I being filmed already?
This is the bandstand over here. It's like roughly a K and a half.
It's actually feastier than Taskmaster quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like taller. I can't find the bathroom.
Bro, is that better?
Yeah, I mean actually.
On boats here for Emmanuel. Amen.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone here votes for Emmanuel.
Right, yeah.
So go on, Rory. We'll make a bit of a video of it whilst Eamon's filming. Who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be?
Win what?
Is it going to be Brooks, or is it going to be Leander, or is it going to be Sykes? Something else?
Newcastle.
You think? Who do you think it's going to be?
I don't know.
I think Leander might have it by like a second or two.
Well, if you say Brooks, I'll say Leander.
Oh, that's a good idea. And then we'll chop it, and then we'll only put the one in the video of the one that's right.
See, I'm a genius.
All right. I think Brooks will win it by 3 seconds.
I think Leander by 8.
And we'll just chop that and we'll be right no matter what. We're on Barnes Bridge and we're definitely not putting a sign up. We need to make sure it's not upside down, like that, so that when people are rowing past and they're really tired, they can look up.
Oh yeah, because they're really tired after 100 metres of racing.
And see our nice big banner. Right there. I also don't know if you're allowed to do this, but you know, who cares?
This is basically the equivalent of putting a bed sheet saying happy birthday to someone. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Where are we going to attach it to? Oh, there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's where my sunglasses go absolutely flying.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the bottom corner? This bit tied to here would have been quite good, but...
I almost just dropped my radio on the Thames.
Oh, didn't think about the microphone when I was hanging over the side.
See,
that would have been really bad.
I did, because I'm thoughtful.
Okay, it looks quite small from here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does actually.
Then when you come off the bridge, we can split your card across all 3 laptops and just go through all of them at once.
Yeah.
Or like you and Callum can split it between 2 and I'll finish off Callum's.
Well, Callum's got something to tell you when he comes back.
Oh no.
Tripod.
Oh, the tripod. Oh, he hasn't bought it. I actually can't tell if Rory what is fishing. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Where are you guys parked up for Head of the River?
For Head of the River, I'll sit at the bandstand, and then for the boat races, I'll sit at TSS and get.
Are you guys doing there's a YouTube live stream of the race?
There is. For Head of the River, we'll do that one.
Oh, okay.
We only do it if the event doesn't. Yeah.
It's still so sick that you do it.
Oh, it's fine. Like, yeah.
It's-
And like, there's absolutely no money in it at all. So.
No, you get my tripod, and I'll use the monopod.
Oh, with the gimbal. Yeah, it actually will be fine. Yeah. That's so fair. I didn't
That's
think
so
about
annoying. I thought you didn't have anything at all.
that. Eamon's come along and understood exactly what we mean by there's always one technical issue, and has now realised that the technical issue is just a human error issue. Yeah, these are all the crews paddling up to the start for Head of the River, so everyone has a marshalling position somewhere along this like 2K bit of water. It's like double digits there, so they're going to be well above the start. And then we go all the way down here to like 250 to 300 in this type of region. So all of them are boating now, and then we'll just find like people are stacked up against the side. See them? I think all the Brooks crews are starting above 50, or at least above 30, I think. So they'll have to go all the way past Chiswick Bridge before they get to start.
Why do you care about Brooks?
So I went there. No, well fast. Imperial, Lucinda's old uni. That's the first date. Got Zahir in the coxswain seat. Yeah, Zahir! Woo! Yeah, I see!
Where did you buy your photos of here? Oh my God,
yeah.
good lad.
All right, let's carry on. I probably wouldn't suggest filming this bit, Eamon. That can't get in the video.
That's going in.
We'll go get changed in a minute, Eamon. Oh, I mean, you don't have to, but I'm going to go and get into my salopettes and my black coat. Women's Head, I was like leaving and everything had gone brown. My laptop was covered in mud. Oh yeah, when the crew started coming past, I won every 3 seconds. There was poo in the river and coming out of my salopettes.
I wonder if Eamon's just leaving these mics on us the whole time.
Oh no, it won't work from the bridge. Yeah, make sure you take yours off before you go to the bridge.
On my A9.
Yeah, can we give it to Eamon and he can go drop it off?
Does he not have it?
Sorry, Eamon. You're going to go and drop off a bottom plate now to one of the photographers. Yeah, a lovely Arca Swiss plate. Yeah. Right, see you later, Eamon. Thanks, mate. Lots of love. I miss you.
I'm surprised you kept me in shot.
Yeah, you gotta be like super far away.
This is giving me 10 talk vibes from final day at Henley.
Yeah. Okay, so we are off to Barnesbridge.
I'm off to Barnesbridge, where I'm photographing from.
I'm off to Chiswick Bridge to
is a
drop
wee bit-
off a frickin' Arca Swiss tripod plate. Why is the 8 head special?
Because you've got so many crews from clubs, universities, schools, so it's kind of like where everybody comes together for one event, which is quite nice. You know, it's early in the season, so you get to see kind of what the regatta season might look like in terms of, you know, up and coming clubs. It's kind of the first look at everybody.
I'm Kit, I work at AllMarkOne, I'm doing video at 8's Head.
Don't you love this?
Disgusting. Yeah, we love rowing. After 8's Head, Vet's Head tomorrow, and then I know like a few more little ones, and then we get into the regatta season a bit, so hopefully a bit better weather than this.
8's Head. Well, the weather is always bad.
And it fucking pours it down.
I don't know how it does it every single year. Every time I've raced it, it rains. It's the most atypical English race, full of crews that do not normally race outside of their small bits of water, which we like to see. The Tideway can be a bit intimidating. Seen a few interesting coxing moves. That's a usual thing. There's a lot of crews with not much gap, but it's all good. Here come University of Bristol, crew 198.
Yeah, new fault.
100 to go.
Swap
Yeah.
cards at 200-ish.
Oh, we've got a big old gap now.
So quick swap of the cards so that can be cleared, each card, and then we'll change every like 25 crews. It makes it a little bit easier to sort in the laptop. We can also make folders inside the camera. So if we don't have enough time to change cards, when you pull the card in, instead of seeing one folder, you see like an absolute string. And then that means that we've already pre-sorted all the images by crew number before we have to put them into the laptop. So although I can like go and manually look at them all, there's crew 100 and 201. So we've already pre-sorted them.
Who won?
Leander, 7 seconds. Cut to the shot of Rory White saying Leander by 8 seconds from earlier on in the video. That was a good call. So that was an absolute blind guess, I'm sure.
This sound haunts me, by the way, in my sleep. I close my eyes and all I hear is doot, 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 doot. I can kind of feel it in my soul. Some poor guy just went past. Braid broken. He's got no blade. He got no blade.
We found crew 125 and 126, so we're separating that into folders now. So in camera, we've done it pretty roughly, but as there's a crew currently, one every 6 seconds, one every 7 seconds, it can be a little bit too close, and we end up chopping it at like 126, 127 instead of 125. So then we only have to do a little bit of manually fiddling with them in post. And then we export in Lightroom, currently underway.
I like that he moves down with the tide.
Gotta keep it moving.
It just means that we don't have these bushes on the left-hand side in the way. I think we've also realised that the closer to the water, the faster it looks. It's kind of the same rule for filming, but a lot of sports are like that. Like the lower you can get, the faster it looks. So if we can get nice and close to the water, the rowers just look better. And I think at the end of the day, if we can make the rowers look better, like we're doing our job better. Yeah, like that's easy stuff, isn't it? Lovely batteries. They're really good. They're easier to buy in the US. The UK ones are really hard to get hold of. Special UK plugs.
It's giant.
Best plug. We can get 140 watt power straight into like the new 16-inch MacBook Pros. That means we can just power through. Like our fans are on full whack the entire time. So our laptops stay nice and cool. Usually you'd start the cruise maybe 20 seconds apart, but if you pan over now, we're looking 6, 7, 8 seconds. I mean, those two crews are level. We're about 1.4K in here, and it's just so fast, which means that we have to work faster to make sure that we don't get left behind. So we're passing crew 225 at the moment, and we're already roughly like 100 boats behind. We're uploading crew 125 now, which is still pretty good. If you think that the time gap's probably about right, we're uploading photos that we took 20 minutes ago, which is not that bad for an event this fast. We were doing an event slowly. 20 minutes would be 60 crews, not 100 crews. So we're a little bit further behind than usual in terms of crews, even though we're the right level of behind in time. Yeah, Callum's just getting even lower. It's good though. Do you like our jackets? We should get some.
These are coming out so nice. A little weird that I keep my eye open. Yeah, I quite like to, using my left eye, lets me see when I can take the next picture of the crew on the left. What are we up to?
Callum loves a good gap.
Yeah, I can have a card if you want.
Man, I'm a big fan of this music. Bandstand is the place to be.
When we were at Women's Hair, Damon, I finished shooting, and I sat in the car, and my whoop was like, "Your activity is complete." And I spent the entire thing of Women's Head in Zone 4. It was like, oh, fun. A little bit more chilled this time. Callum's taking the photos.
Here we go, last crew, off they go. Putney Town. Just waiting for this last full crew shot, and then we're good.
We'll get there. We'll be all right. Got a few more to go.
Oh,
another heavy row done.
success. Happy days.
So, yeah, the lads. Durham Amateur Rowing Club. Ollie Negus in the stroke seat.
Why is Head of the River different than any other race?
Oh my God. I mean, it's
not.
not.
It's just another race. They're all the same.
It's like,
All races are exactly the same. Nothing changes. It's just boats on a river. I can't think of any. We've been here so many times. These steps, the second home of AllMarkOne.
their stream changes throughout the race. So I think usually the first crew would go off about 2 hours after the tide turns, so at peak tide. But that kind of limits the number of crews that Head of the River, Women's Head, School's Head can all cope with, because by about now the tide's dying down. But yeah, because of the tide, we're limited by how many crews you can have on it. I think Head of the Charles has what, 2,500 boats over 3 days? There's no way that you could get 2,500 boats racing on the same bit of tide with a fair enough speed, because the speed changes so much. You're limited to roughly 350 to 400 boats. Try to put 600 boats on. Some of them would be racing against the tide by the end, I think. So that'd be pretty dodgy, and I think a lot of people probably wouldn't be okay with it, which is tough, because it'd be really nice to have a river like this that's non-tidal in the UK, because then you could hold a Head of the Charles for 3,000 boats in 3 days, and it'd be mad. Yeah, it's all off one time, so you could have a university crew coming third overall, whereas I think at Head of the Charles you kind of have to, you got to look a little bit deeper into the results to work out where you ranked overall.
Callum, why AllMarkOne?
That's a great question. Why me?
Oh no. Why? I feel why Rory is a slightly different question to why AllMarkOne.
Yeah, let's go for one.
Done this for a while now. We're what, 5 years in?
Yeah, you're at 5 years in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's no one else like it. It is unique. It is entirely. It's just AllMarkOne. Everyone knows.
Effort driven. I think it's effort. You're process driven.
It's very effort and process driven. I think we spent a long time getting things to where they're at.
Yeah.
Making things how they are. We've invested a lot of time and money in making it work smoothly. Doing the whole live uploading, live processing, the whole thing has been years in the making. I think 5 years ago we used to have to hand over a little SD card to someone in a tent during regattas, because we didn't have enough processing power to
to our
get
plugged
everything
in
done.
Mac Minis.
Yep.
In a tent.
With a full monitor, with a full
everything,
compute setup. Whereas now we are blessed with the luxury.
Someone decided to charge their phone and we lost all of our files. That could have happened. Someone in like the start tower being like, "Oh, I'd like this plug."
Let's not unplug that, please. Thank you.
Maybe.
But there's just nothing else like it. We are the only people that have a full operation, and especially now that we've moved into video, selling especially like the race clips, selling slow-mo video. It's like sexy 4K 60, 4K 120 as you go past.
The 4K 120 April trials is something else.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That featured in a Team GB advert on Piccadilly Circus.
I've shot one set of video for AllMarkOne.
Yeah.
And it was at Piccadilly Circus,
was.
which I think is not bad.
That's a pretty cool.
It's a decent. It's on my highlight. It's on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, very good. Very good. We're just uploading like 125 more crews. Quickly export them, and then Rory White should be here in no time. Get ready for his photos to go up. And then, you know, the clock's started now. The last crew's passed us at 10 to 5. We're aiming for roughly like a 1 hour turnaround for Rory's photos now. So if we could get all of them up by 10 to 6, that'd be pretty good. We are currently at 217 gigs just from Callan.
Goddamn.
My bad.
That's that A1.
That's that A1 in medium compressed.
Yeah, it's not even
uncompressed RAWs. That would have been ridiculous. We'd have been like 500
well, yesterday
gigs.
we did what, 360?
Yeah, 360, something like that. It's a lot of gigs. Another heavy road done. So
happy days.